Yesterday, Florida's Republican Governor Ron DeSantis attempted to really just stick it to Joe Biden by signing 4 bills into law that were passed during a special legislative session that the governor had called. And he did it in a town called Brandon, because in his not-so-subtle way, he was sending the message, F you, Joe Biden. Obviously, in case you're not familiar with it, Brandon, or Let's Go Brandon, has become the phrase du jour of the Republican Party because it means F Joe Biden. And of course, when DeSantis signed these bills in the parking lot of an automobile dealership, nonetheless, like that's the best place he could find in the city of Brandon, the crowd was chanting, Let's Go Brandon. So again, not very subtle, definitely not mature, but hey, that's what Republicans are all about today. But the important thing is what DeSantis actually signed into law. He signed 4 bills that will punish anyone who goes along with vaccine mandates or mask mandates, at least on the school level for the mask mandates, here in the state of Florida. Let me read this. Private employer COVID-19 vaccine mandates are prohibited, and employees can choose from numerous exemptions, including but not limited to health or religious concerns, pregnancy or anticipated future pregnancy, and past recovery from COVID-19. Employees can choose to opt for periodic testing or PPE as an exemption, but employers must cover the cost and testing of PPE and the tests. So, yeah, you can't protect the rest of your workers. You can't, as a private business, make your own rules. Oh, and by the way, we're going to force you to do these tests and provide PPE, and you have to pay for it, even though we've allotted $5 million for this legislation. So what the hell's the money for? And that's actually the question that the Democrats in the Florida State Legislature, who hold a minority of the seats, they're asking, what's the money for? If you're making everybody else pay for everything, then why are you giving $5 million to do this? Because that doesn't make any sense. And of course, the mask mandate ban says that school districts cannot enact mask mandates. Any school that has a mandate or that quarantines a healthy student can be sued by the parents. All of this is going to get shut down in court. Every single bit of it will not pass muster in a court of law. This is a gross overreach of power by Ron DeSantis. And he knows that, and he knows it's going to get struck down, but he doesn't care. That's the point of it. The point was the spectacle of doing it. That's why he chose the town of Brandon. There was no reason he couldn't have just signed these back in his office in Tallahassee and called it a day. He did it for the optics. He did it because this is a power-hungry megalomaniac who thinks that he is going to be the next president of the United States. And he is pandering to the dumbest people that we have to offer here in the state of Florida. That is what this is all about. So again, it's going to get struck down eventually. But by that point, everybody who was at that signing, everybody chanting, Let's Go Brandon, will have moved on. And they will not even notice that it got struck down. Because that was the plan all along. You see that he does it. He gets to brag that he did it. He made a spectacle by going to Brandon to do it. But there's not going to be any follow-up. The media will barely even yawn when they get news that DeSantis' new rules have been struck down in the courts. And he wins. He wins by losing, because that was his strategy all along. One of today's video sponsors is Munk Pack Keto Nut and Seed Bars. Healthy snacks have a bad reputation, and let's be honest, most don't taste very good. They don't fill you up, and they certainly don't satisfy any of your cravings. Munk Pack makes snacks that taste like our favorite sugary treats, but with 1 gram of sugar or less. Munk Pack Keto Nut and Seed Bars contain 1 gram of sugar or less, 2 to 3 grams of net carbs, and they're only 150 calories. They're great for anyone following a keto lifestyle and the perfect snack for anyone who's trying to eat better or cut back on sugar and carbs without sacrificing taste. Munk Pack Keto Nut and Seed Bars have a perfect balance of sweet and salty, a crunch from whole nuts and seeds, but still manage to be soft and chewy. They come in delicious flavors like sea salt dark chocolate, caramel sea salt, and peanut butter dark chocolate. They're perfect for a quick snack to satisfy your sweet tooth without any guilt, and you can enjoy Munk Pack Keto Nut and Seed Bars as a quick breakfast while running errands or after a workout. In addition to being keto-friendly, the bars are also gluten-free, plant-based, non-GMO with no soy, trans fats, sugar alcohols, or artificial colors. So try it for yourself and you'll see, and we have a special deal for our Ring of Fire viewers. Get 20% off your first purchase of any Munk Pack product by visiting munkpack.com and entering our code ROF at checkout. And Munk Pack is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll exchange the product or refund your money, whichever you prefer. To get started, just go to munkpack.com. That's munkpack.com. Select any product, then enter code ROF at checkout to save 20% off your purchase.